11:70 a.m. We're streaming live, not just via radio, but we're also streaming on YouTube, TikTok, whatever else I'm not fully aware of at this point in time. It's good to be here this evening. We do have some guests this evening, but I'm your senior host, Bapo, and with me we have Emilov. Emilov, go ahead and say hello. You want to use my phone?
Good night, listening audience. I am your co-host, Love. I hope everybody is doing well on this Friday evening.
And Disha, what about you?
Hi, good night.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody doing good night.
All right, and we have two very special guests here with us this evening. We let them go ahead and say hello to you folks and just a little about yourself, who you are, what you represent, etc.
Good night, everybody. My name is Peter Bandy. I am with the Jamaican Foundation of St. Croix. So what I do, I'm the vice president and now the acting president of the foundation. And I'm invited here to talk about what we're going to do for the tragedy that took place in Jamaica. So,
all right.
Good night, everybody. This is Ramon Ventura, Jamaican national as well, and a member of the Jamaican Foundation of St. Croix. And we're just here to share what's been happening and come up with our community and any questions and also express how we should support for.
All right, and we also have Shanice, one of the hosts, connected via StreamYard. Shanice, go ahead and say hello.
Hello, good night, everybody.
All right, and Shanice joins us all the way from Atlanta. Well, let's see. We're going to be talking about. We'll start off this evening talking about Jamaica, the aftermath of the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Quite a woman, huh?
Yeah.
Quite a woman. She did much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that some. But before we go there, we have somebody who works behind the scenes with choices, and she prepared she came up with two songs through the AI thing. Let's listen to this one.
oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Is it coming through?
Yeah.
All right, folks, there you have it. Now, this was put together by my wife, Irene, who works behind the scenes with us, you know. What's the second one? With us, yeah.
God of my feet, the sky so blue. Give thanks and praise for all we rise again with strength. Through storm and fire we still remain. The blood of King flows in our veins. No chains to break our safety. Jamaica stands through joy and pain. United we stand, together we rise. Building a future under the sky. Hand in hand we open our eyes. Jamaica spirit will never die. Will never die.
Okay, that's a repeat of the same one. So we just will stop that there. All right. Okay, folks. So we're here to basically look at the situation over in Jamaica. It's good that we just heard this evening that the Prime Minister of Jamaica has put in place a 30-day exemption on duties being collected on things being brought into the island. And so maybe we can use that as a point of departure to let you guys come in and let us know what's happening on the ground in Jamaica, what you heard from those who survived the onslaught of that storm. So go ahead, share with us.
Sure. You know, we can see it's near palpable what's actually been happening in Jamaica. We see it in the drone photos, we see it via different media channels. It is devastation and something that's beyond our wildest imaginations in terms of the damage. The way the land, the ocean, the people have been ravaged is next level. And I know, you know, scientifically it was defined as a Cat 5. That thing was like a Cat 10. People are missing, and family members I can't get in touch with, and a number of, you know, everybody else. It could be secondary to just, you know, power outages. It could be because a town was obliterated, you know. So, you know, we're here, but we're feeling the pain, and we're kind of trying to stay in contact with everybody that we can. While I was here, I saw a Jamaican on soil. She's actually she resided here, and she goes home to check, you know, on her mom and stuff like that. And what the pictures I just saw coming about 30 minutes ago in her area, it's whoa. I wish it was AI, and it's everybody's worst nightmare. So we definitely cannot imagine an island with 3 million people, and it's not like a focal area of devastation. It's generalized. So just even trying to rally aid, I see people trying, but most places you have to get into the place aerially. So choppers and all of that. So I'll allow Peter to express.
Yeah, and Peter, before you come in, let me just say that those of you who have your phones, you want to put stream on Facebook, feel free to do that. And there's this, whatever it's called over there, that you can drop your phone in there. If you want, whatever you guys want to do, if you want to stream live, go, feel free to do so. And I hope my wife is listening and that she can have my phone on so that, we can stream that live, so everybody can, those who want to interact with us. Now, for those of you who are listening on the radio, if you want to call in and share with us, the numbers are 773-0390 and 773-0490. And for outside of the territory, of course, the area code is 340. Peter, go ahead.
Yes, good night again, everybody. First of all, I want to thank you for having us on to just explain exactly what's going on.
It's my obligation. It's my obligation. As a fellow Caribbean person, we're neighbors, we're friends, we're compatriots, you name it. We're comrades,
Absolutely.
We're together in the struggle.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. As we try to get the word out under the foundation, we're trying to do a lot more than we've done in the past, actually. Let me start with a lot of the foundation members, well, not the members, but the fellow Jamaicans that are in our chat, right? They're not board members, but they're in our chat. They've been giving us updates in regards to this. The majority of them have gotten in touch with their family. There's still some people that haven't spoken to their family in Jamaica. And just to be clear, that the west end of the island is one that got damaged the most.
Mhm.
Now, I was able to speak
The
to
west
my
end.
the west end of the island.
And
which
that
is
by
over
name, that would be what?
Montego Bay,
Montego Bay.
Grill,
Clarendon,
Clarendon.
St. Elizabeth.
Right. And I have people in Clarendon
Mhm.
and Elizabeth, St. Elizabeth. And we had Pearl, what is it? The hospital, Black River
Black
Hospital was
River.
badly damaged.
Ravage,
Mhm.
Mandeville, Manchester.
So, my cousin, my nephew, I got in touch with him, and he actually spoke to me yesterday. He gave me a full update in regards to what was going on. Now, he's in Kingston.
Mhm.
Now, he's my brother's child, and he was not able to get in touch with his parents.
Wow.
Until late that night, last night is when we got the word that they're okay. They had a solid roof and everything, but even people with solid roof were getting flooded out.
Mhm.
My sister-in-law just told me she's missing zinc,
Mhm.
and the whole bedroom flooded out, everything. Back to my nephew, he was stating as of yesterday there was 17
Mhm.
casualties. There's still people missing because people just washed out into the sea. Houses were falling in, mudslides.
So you're saying 17 dead? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's
I
Okay.
heard, I heard 25.
That was as of yesterday.
Yeah, 25.
Now it's probably, and that death,
So
that
far,
toll's
and
gonna
I'm
go.
sure that's changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that death toll's gonna go up.
Wow.
It's rough.
Because there are areas that they've not been able to reach.
get to.
Rescue workers
That's
have not been there to make any kind of evaluation, assessment.
That is
All
correct.
right.
That is correct. We said the necessity right now is food.
Mhm.
And back to what you were saying about what we were talking about AI,
Mhm.
the short vids, you gotta be very careful with those. Some of those are AI generated.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I was talking to Mr. Victor Barnes, and I think VCJ is one of the outlets that's Jamaican TV
Mhm.
off of YouTube, and that would actually give you more information on what's going on,
Okay.
like boots on the ground and so
Mhm.
on. But other than
So-
that, it's very devastating.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know how to describe it, right?
Mhm.
So it's I was here for Maria and Irma. I don't even think that came close.
No, not remotely.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, I hear you speak about the AI effect
Mhm.
and for us to be careful. But I saw some videos, and that was actually aired by a reporter, I think, from
Fox
London.
News.
So, okay.
I had Fox News and a couple others. The Prime Minister, Andrew Holmes, is that Holmes?
Yeah.
So I know those are legit. I saw the aerial shots of that whole West End,
Mhm.
Montego Bay, Black River.
Mhm.
It is heartbreaking.
Mhm.
I cried for some of the people who actually have live footage and they're talking about is the worst thing that ever happened in their lives.
Mhm.
The experience, one lady, she had to go to work as an essential worker at the hospital for Black River. They couldn't go home to their families being at work. And she said she never wanted to go through anything like that again. And they don't, being that they was at work,
Mhm.
the missing, don't know what's going on with your family. Oh, it's horrific.
Yeah, and then you have the tourists, and then that's another level of still giving the Jamaican
Mhm.
tourist experience and hospitality in the storm, and
Mhm.
also dealing with people, the hysteria,
Mhm.
certain expectations, even though the Jamaicans are there doing their best. And I saw this one feel good video where this guy says, if you didn't respect the spirit of the Jamaicans, he said he has a newfound level of respect as he was a tourist there and he saw how these people worked, frantic and hurting and thinking about their families. They don't know their situation, but they were there making sure that our visitors were still well taken care of.
Mhm.
So it's just a number of layers to things, and I would say that I've seen some things on social media that I got a little sensitive to. We're a Caribbean nation and we're one Caribbean people, diaspora, and so I want to admonish everybody to be, sensitive to those very climates of how people might feel, and don't share make light of what people are going through, and don't think that your lived experience is anything compared to this. Whole space for what's presently happening, and if you can't give, if you can't support, at least a prayer would be much welcomed. And it's devastating. It's a number of mixed feelings. I woke up this morning at 4 and I definitely had a good cry because I saw a situation which this lady, she was holding space. She was in charge, volunteering to take care of persons in a shelter, and it's voluntary. And she was so devastated, and I think more so the elders, the feeble, that she was trying to take care of through all of that. And one of them, she said she's so traumatized she stopped speaking. And so just this thing is going to more than just ravage the land and just leave things barren for a while, ocean and terrain, but also just those of us who can't reach you, your loved one is there. It's like something out of a movie, but the people that are there, they're gonna need. I can't imagine the type of therapy some people are gonna need for this situation, and to see loved ones and can't do anything to help them, to drown, to disappear, to all of that. I have a particular loved one that I'm looking and trying to find him, and he was elderly. So it's a lot, and it's not just how I feel. We have to think about the bigger picture of how everybody is feeling. So it's not a just me situation, but you still have to pause and take inventory of your own feelings. And I'm also appreciating that our other Caribbean brothers and sisters understand. We know what this type of, maybe not this level, but we understand what loss is. We understand what it is to be displaced. I was here as well with Irma Maria, and I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. I can't imagine the pregnant women. I can't imagine the babies that were born in this. I can't imagine the elders and the people who need medicine that don't even have a pharmacy to get the needs. Somebody who was probably gonna be scheduled for a surgery the next day because they have something chronic or acute happening. And so I come from a healthcare background. I'm a nurse, and I also work in public health here. So I'm thinking about the bigger, far-reaching issues. What's going to happen in the next week? We're going to have a lot of mosquitoes. We're going to have a lot of, dengue issues. We're going to have water issues, water purity issues. So I'm thinking about just not the aftermath 2-3 days, the next week, 2 weeks, what is going to happen? So it's going to be epic, and we're going to need a lot of support.
You mentioned two things I want to highlight,
Sure.
which is sort of nuggets of understanding and awareness that you mentioned. The fact that you mentioned that Jamaica needs prayers. Too often we put prayers in the background. Prayers should be offered in behalf of the folks in Jamaica right now. That's one. And then you spoke about the element of hospitality. In the midst of the crisis, the Jamaican people are reaching out to the tourists on island and making sure that they have the necessary accommodation. That speaks volumes.
And ushering them safely back to theirs, making sure they're okay.
I wanted to highlight that. Now, since you mentioned that you're into healthcare,
Yes.
and Shanice, feel free to jump in if you want to say something, ask a question. Tell us a little about. I'm hearing that a hospital in particular in an area was ravaged during the storm. What can you tell us about that? The heroes, the heroines were there to take care of the patients during that hour of crisis. Whatever you've heard that you can share with us, why don't you go ahead and do that?
There are several hospitals that got Savlamar that got damaged, Manchester. But let me tell you something about my people. I'm getting very Jamaican here.
Resilient.
We don't have safety nets.
And
so I was watching this one particular video, and this man, he was standing outside in the midst of the hurricane, and his house was just disintegrating behind him, and he was just frozen, and it was like I was watching a movie. And I was like, run, why is he not running? Run. And then his neighbor shouted at him to run, and he eventually ran over them. And I said, why was he just in a stupor and frozen? Because when you work for your things and you don't come from somebody with wealth and infrastructures where you can tap for food and resources, you have to work extremely hard as a Jamaican. They always make this joke that we have 5, 6 jobs, Jamaicans. It's true. You know why? Because there's value in sweat equity and hard work. Brick by brick, you build something, and then all your safety and security. The food insecurity starts. Where I'm going to do, all my memories are there. Every single thing I work for. So it's not something that's just superficial. It's just all my sweat and everything is gone. And so us as a people, we help our neighbors. If you have this thing that we call when you run a boat, we call run boat. When I saw a community, one person over there kneading flour, making a big pot of dumpling, somebody over there stretching some meat and making a lot of gravy. We will make it work if we have the resources or lack thereof. We're very resourceful people and resilient people. And I know we can do a lot, but that level of what we're seeing in terms of the hospital systems, in terms of foods and all of that, we definitely are going to need a lot of help. I'm not going to say we're superheroes in any shape or form when it comes to that. We definitely are going to stand on no man is an island in this case, and beseech the rest of our communities locally, nationally, globally, to really be intentional. And you know, every country I've ever traveled to or resided in, I always hear the temple Jamaican music. I always smell the jerk chicken. Always people get tantalized by the red stripe beer, and all of these different things that are not the definition of the people, but a little essence of us. If you have some feeling and a connection or love or joy for the people that you enjoy the things outside of the country, think about preserving that, celebrating that, and supporting that by being intentional, even if you don't have $1, spreading the word. In terms of healthcare infrastructures, we have some parts of Jamaica that is intact. And based on what I saw, Andrew Holness was able to deploy emergency fund of 24 billion Jamaican dollars. So I'm not saying that we have everything and $24 billion. What does that translate to in USD or pounds? Maybe not as much as it sounds like. But we're looking at our CARICOM brothers and sisters, and we're looking at everybody to really, you know, I'm going to go on ground. You know, I'm ready to go, whatever dumpling I need for me, whatever I need for clean, whatever I need to do, I'm that girl. And I did that for the Bahamas. I know my family in the Bahamas, so when they had that Darian happening over there, I went and did medical relief missions. But all in all, what I'm saying is that we need to definitely stay in tune with what's going on, and you know, just one hand can clap and just support the team.
You touched upon a few items in terms of necessities that we have to look at. Let's see how we can put some things in perspective. I used to see videos of the marketplace in Jamaica with locally produced food items. Where is the major source of agricultural production in Jamaica, and to what extent this has been impacted, and what are we looking at in terms of getting food?
Agriculturally, I mean, most of farmlands are flooded or obliterated. Livestock.
Obliterated.
You know, we're talking about even the erosion in terms of even the ocean. I'm sure everything. I mean, I saw a video of the blackbirds just coming in prior to the storm. I mean, the animals got their signal to get the hell out of here. I don't even think of fish there on the shores right now. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Like they knew to dip. So, you know, it's going to take a little bit a while. And, you know, I said to my husband the other day, man, I haven't had some good avocados out of St. Croix or mangoes until last year. It took about roughly 10 years for the land to catch itself. And when we were recovering from the urban Maria. So imagine the soil erosion, imagine all of that in terms of like very fertile agricultural lands. We probably have to come up with like new ways in terms of building up the soil or doing different types of farming to be able to do it again. I could, you know, and I'm a farmer as well. So I'm thinking about tower farming. I'm thinking about, you know, using those box and troughs to just plant and get things quickly going. But one thing I can say about the Prime Minister, he's top tier, very conscientious and innovative and proactive. And I trust that he will be able to champion us out of this situation along with the people, the Jamaican spirit they have, and support the Caribbean friends and everyone. But right now things are skinny, and of course Kingston is more metropolitan and certain places. Most persons would travel from the other areas like Manchester, Clarendon, and different places into Kingston and go into the Coronation markets and and sell their stuff. I don't think it's completely gone, but I think that we're gonna have a little while to catch ourselves. What about St. Thomas, the other end of the island?
I don't know.
I don't think Falmouth,
Haven't
St.
heard
Thomas,
anything.
the other end, I saw a lot of water logging and
Yeah, that's
damaging
what-
there. So those are like parishes that are known to do a lot of agriculture. So
Let me ask in terms of, we've seen cases where you have extreme flooding situations where
from the river.
villages are inundated, houses covered with muck and mud. To what extent do we have such experiences in Jamaica where perhaps the mudslides just came and covered certain areas? Are you aware of any such occurrences?
Just from the pictures I've seen,
Mhm.
they're not really focusing on that, what you're
Mhm.
asking, right? We're seeing a lot of blockage on the road.
Mhm.
From what my nephew was telling me, the problem right now is power down. I mean, power lines are down.
Mhm.
Starlink actually stepped in and allowed the people to have internet.
Mhm.
My thought process as well, they start using up their phone when it happens to power.
Mhm.
Now, how do you charge your phone, right?
Mhm.
They have that Starlink free access until the end of November.
Mhm.
So that's one good thing.
Mhm.
So thank you, Elon Musk.
To what extent is the power grid impacted?
We're
Well,
still
that's
in
other-
assessment.
yeah.
It's early.
Yeah,
There-
we can't answer.
what we're
that.
telling you from is by word of family members and
yeah.
friends and what we're seeing and what other inquiries and stuff. But we're still at ground zero. Just think about September 11th.
Right. Yeah.
Just we're at ground zero. We're
Yeah.
still trying to find the dead or assess if people are alive.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
They got
So-
washed out to sea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of them.
So
So
And
we
people
don't.
were a bit inland that underestimate the level of erosion and
Wow.
the chain reaction of
Yeah.
anything just slipping into the ocean. It was
they need food.
Yeah.
They definitely need
Okay. So then let me ask you in terms of mobilizing, forces, the logistic of it, getting people on the island of St. Croix in particular to respond to the needs of Jamaicans. And of course, you guys have to be in the forefront.
Right.
What are we looking at? What plans do you have? And let me just say, I can speak on behalf of the owners of this radio station. That whatever the management and ownership of this station can do to assist, they will do. I take the liberty to say that. So you can know that, with this radio station, you got friends, you got support. So tell us a little in terms of how you guys plan to go forward, mobilizing the forces, getting people to know where you will be so that they can make contributions, etc.
So I'm gonna let Ramon speak on where we will be, right? But the plan is to have some containers here.
Mhm.
Well, one here, one in St. Thomas, and we're gonna put one in Miami, right? You got
Right.
boots on the ground there.
Right.
But we're gonna need people on the ground in Jamaica,
Mhm.
so there's no chaos. I know what it was like, National Guard, right?
The
So I
military
already
guard.
know
Mhm.
from Irma and Maria when Chucky Hansen was there trying to
Yeah.
incite the crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For food. I remember all of that when she
Yeah.
was like,
Mhm.
God bless her soul.
Yeah.
Rest
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that is the plan right now.
Mhm.
The other plan is we're working on our situation with the all our monetary donations are going through the St. Croix Foundation,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
We're trying to establish for the Jamaican society itself.
Uh-huh.
So that will be established during the week, next week actually.
Okay.
As of Monday.
Mhm.
So we're working on that, but this is my anchor right here.
Right.
That's why I brought her in and I asked her to come with me.
Uh-huh.
But Ramon, she's got plenty of great ideas that we're pushing forward to get it because she's already experienced with going downrange.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm talking military, right? Sorry
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Some-
Military,
some-
the nurse and the military
Going
might be
over.
here.
Some
Yeah,
some telephone numbers for the persons who are listening who want to contact you guys.
sure.
Would you mind sharing some telephone numbers with them, listening, viewing audience so that they can?
Yeah, you guys can reach me at 340-626-8232. As you can imagine, this entire thing is, we know we saw it coming, but not to this magnitude. It's a shock. So we, as a Jamaican association, doing some quick regroups and some refining, so we can be able to take any donations, monetary donations, through a channel that people can readily get to us, which is the St. Croix Foundation. I think we're going to work on some other areas that can be a little easier, like Cash App and Zelle for people that are out of town. But we'll give all that information next week.
the website.
In terms of the website, you're going to find us on our social media platforms at JA Foundation STX, JA Foundation STX. And you'll see those social media platforms come alive by midnight tonight. And we want to make it easier, and we adjusting the name so you can readily find us. In the same breath, there's a lot of people that are predatory and using this as an opportune time to position themselves to do the wrong thing and take donations and whatnot. And so you'll also see on that page some things that we'll share for persons who are doing that, certain websites and links. And we just want to be very transparent and open for any help. We're going to have some checklists of or wish lists of things that we would need. I'm looking at everything from medical stuff, basic stuff, diapers, feminine care products. As a woman, I think about what other women are going through right now. Babies, newborns.
Definitely, that was one of my hardest feelings.
Right now, I know people have headache, literally and figuratively. Like, just different things you can do. How can I work with other pharmaceutical companies? And parlay with those in Jamaica on the ground to make sure everything's okay in terms of getting things over in a way. I'm looking at World Central Kitchen and seeing what they're doing in terms of getting food on the ground. And so we're doing a lot. There's a lot of moving things and considerations in terms of what persons need. Also looking for recipients that are legit. Churches and other people are still actively working on identifying. So all of those things will be rolled out. And as you can imagine, in the throes of organizing, it's just like a funeral. Sometimes I don't understand how people are able to hold themselves up to create the booklets and all of this in grief. And so, we have an association. We know one person is in this, and so we're leaning on each other for clarity and to keep each other up as we even personally deal with what is happening. Our community has been extremely supportive, and so I have a shop downtown, Christian State, Cultured Naturals Body Care. That was a hub the last time I did any intake of certain items. We're still doing outreach to other community partners to see if they can also lend support in terms of storage as we try to get trailers in and pack those things. And as Peter said, we're gonna make sure that we have stations in St. Thomas and St. Croix and also South Florida to be able to get things to send down. We want to be very specific in what we can get, mosquito nets, things like that. Generator. Imagine nobody listen. Generator. The other day I was a participant in Bush Cook Chef Cook at Seja Farms, and I was out there cooking on my coal stove. I don't even think the coal will ever be dry enough to be lit in Jamaica for the next couple of months. But what can we do in a practical way to empower the people to be able to cook their own meals? So I'm looking at like those little flat top ranges, those double burners. And maybe I can see what the gas companies are like. What can we do with our donations to get practical, usable things? And sometimes people say, okay, people are going through a crisis. Let me just give them all dirty socks here and there. We're thinking about still preserving the dignity of the people that we are. They say beggars can be choosers, but as a nurse and as a healthcare professional, I pay attention to preserving the dignity of somebody even in death. And so I remember in nursing school we did this thing called last offices, where somebody passed away and we still had a process and a protocol in the way we even treated that body. And so I admonish everybody to respect that, and respect the way we treat people. Don't dash things. We're gonna appreciate everything you do, even if it's just to spread the word. But we will share a specific list. And if you have any suggestions, we're open to remembering it's a flurry of happenings, and we might seem like we got it together and whatnot, but we're open to also persons who know about disaster management, outreach, medical missions and such. And so I am in good company in terms of Department of Health. I have to big up the Commissioner of Health, Justa Tita Encarnacion. She personally called me and she said, we have been back. So anything you all need, I've had a call from Government House. So we're rallying, we're trying to get back to everybody that's been reaching out to us and creating some order and a flow that everybody can see. And you'll be able to see that on our social media platform, JA Foundation STX. So my phone number is 340-626-8232. You can text me.
Yeah,
And
shout to you right now.
who is this here? I spoke with Commissioner Stewart Beckford yesterday, and the assessment is enormous. Trelawney looks like a big hit, and several deaths. Yes, we have a lot of deaths, and
So the number gone up.
yeah. So we're gonna. I've had somebody else, Beckford, the Commissioner of Jamaica Fire Brigade. Okay, this is Marcelino Ventura letting me know about that. Yes, and I heard I got a contact about him, Commissioner of Fire in Jamaica. So we're gonna reach out to that, and and our churches and different legitimate organizations that we can work it on ground. I have a brother that's in the military in Jamaica. I'm looking towards him as well. And if anybody have any ideas, we don't know everything. We might seem organized and such, but we're doing our best in the flurry and the devastation.
Let me ask you something, because you mentioned the need to respect the dignity of folks, no matter the situation.
Yes, sir.
And I recall during the passage of Hurricane Hugo here in St. Croix, I had Mandisa was a child along with her brother.
6 years old.
And one of the things that really concerned me following the hurricane was that the place was hot and humid. There were mosquitoes, and those children they want to have some of the comforts they've been accustomed to.
Right.
And so I was thinking of the little ones in Jamaica,
Right.
the school-age children.
Right.
And I bought some lights in Florida not too long ago. I should have worked with one of that. They're small portable lamps that use AA batteries.
Right.
But they're very bright. You turn on, and they're going for like $1 and change.
Things
You
like
know.
that are
So
amazing
essential now.
resources.
Right. And then also, and I'm saying that so folks who are listening, who have their relatives and friends on the mainland who can get some of that to us,
Batteries, flashlights.
the batteries, the
Yes.
flashlights, and even some small portable fans. When a child is trying to sleep,
It's the worst thing.
right?
That sticky heat.
So that a
That's
battery operated fans
Mhm.
would be ideal. So I just wanted to put this out there so that folks can know, because I am concerned about the children
I appreciate
who
that.
lack the creature comforts they were
And
accustomed to.
think about 2-3 months from now, we're thinking about school education.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking about like quick action plans in terms of stabilizing, making sure everybody is okay.
Mhm.
And we're talking about millions of people.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of people like me and Peter and different associations. We're doing things not necessarily in silo, but kind of in harmony.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping to run into other associations. So if anybody's listening and we can hold hands
Mhm.
and do this,
Mhm.
hit us up. That would be amazing. But I'm just thinking about even those aspects in terms of, these kids gonna be home. I remember as a little girl, I grew up with my grandparents. There are times when light gone and man, we still have to study, put on the little kerosene lamp.
Mhm.
And I do my thing, and I was doing I was rocking out, you know what I mean? I was rocking out, street light on. I would climb the mango tree high enough so we can get the last of the light. So the way we look at education is extremely essential, and it's because, like I said, we don't have those infrastructures and safety nets. You either can run fast like Usain Bolt or you're bright back, right?
Mhm.
So we work extremely hard to make sure that we keep those other things levels in terms of our trades, in terms of our education, in terms of our athletics, those things in terms of normalizing and getting back to our quality of life or some normalcy. Those things would be important maybe 3-6 months down the road, but schools are gone.
I saw the picture.
Everything is gone. We're gonna need laptops. We're gonna need. You remember what happened to St. Croix and St.
Mhm,
Thomas?
mhm.
Okay, we're gonna need that for 3 million people.
And for those who are
Well,
listening,
not 3 million, but close to.
for those who are listening and viewing, I want them to understand the important role that Jamaica plays in terms of the overall scheme of things in the Caribbean. We have young people from all of the neighboring Caribbean islands studying at the University of West Indies in Jamaica.
Mhm.
And I know one island that actually tried to get their students back before the hurricane. And I know, for example, St. Lucia,
Right.
they actually sent monies to
Yeah, I
get
saw
students out there in.
I saw they sent a craft for
Right.
sending petitions.
Right. So it's important for us to understand the role that Jamaica plays in that regard.
Right.
And
in
so-
terms of education. How,
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so all of these persons now have to be catered for. Whilst I suppose some of them may put the educational endeavors on hold for the time being and return to the
If
to
I
the
can
home
be,
base.
if I can be a host for some of my family members who
Mhm,
are not okay, if I can do that, I would. If
Mhm.
I can look to create some infrastructure, we see a lot of small, tiny homes, small homes.
mhm,
Jamaica is going to have a new birth
mhm.
Yes. Just
of innovation, and look, it's a resetting, so to speak. But I can imagine the proliferation of different types. It's going to look different.
Mhm, mhm.
But I would love to, and I dream of seeing our streams, our waterfalls, our
Mhm.
ocean. I want to hear the patois singing in the road. I want to see the people's spirit
Mhm.
high again, and I know it's going to take us some
Yes.
time.
It's gonna be a rough Christmas.
So
Yes,
it got be rough.
definitely.
It got be rough, but
Mhm.
my birthday is next month, and I was saying to my community, because I'm on social media, because I know what I want to do for my birthday. I want to go down and just help.
Mhm.
So and when you ask for help, you need to be specific. So we're saying a lot here tonight, but we're gonna be specific. You're gonna see it on JA Foundation STX on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're gonna have our email that's gonna be ja.info@ja foundationstx.org.
Mhm.
All those things are gonna get activated by midnight tonight.
Mhm.
I'm working on getting everything
That's what I
streamlined.
brought her.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So
All right.
awesome.
Good to hear that.
I wanted to also, the message I got from my nephew, right? He told me the areas that were affected. This was as of 2:09 p.m. yesterday. This is the information he's giving me, right? Montego Bay, St. Elizabeth, St. James, Hanover, Savannah Lamar, Mandeville, Negril, Falmouth,
Mhm.
St. Anne, Clarendon, Westmoreland. Major damage cut off from the rest of the island. Currently, St. Catherine has flooding and no power.
Mhm.
All ports were closed off. As of now, they're reopening. Schools are closed.
Mhm.
The Flow and Digicel, those two networks for the phones, right?
Mhm.
They're all down. JPS, which is the electrical company,
Mhm.
77% of the island has no power right now.
right.
As far as the experience during the hurricane, during the rains, it was almost similar to a small hailstorm, heavy, cold, and loud.
Mhm.
The winds flexed, trees broke branches, and rattled windows caused car alarms to constantly go off. Lightning strikes, thunderclaps, anything loose or lightweight in its path were sent flying. The aftermath in Kingston Central: broken tree branches, few down lines, no serious damage reported. This is on the east side by Kingston,
Mhm.
right? So that's where he is, and this is what he's telling me. There's only broken trees and branches, few down lines, so they still have some power on that side.
Mhm.
Serious damage is reported out 8 of the palace. Places like Gordontown, which had blocked roads. Mandela Highway was also blocked. Portmore suffered down trees and power outages.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to bring that because you had
And
asked.
we may also have roads that were actually washed away.
Yes.
So
We-
that's
again,
another thing.
we need somebody, an actual reporter on the ground to
Mhm.
report back. And
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying, that website there that Mr. Barnes was able
Mhm.
to give me. It's actually YouTube. You go on there and report.
Well, let me just say, and you young people, if you all have things you want to ask, you want to say, please, Shanice, don't be shy. Come on, get on board. Let me just say that what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, I just run into John Abramson. Yesterday, I think it was. I went into John Abramson and he gave me his card, so I'm going to get in touch with him some of my colleagues that I've known for some time, Rosie Richards and so on. I spoke with Abdul Ali yesterday. I put out a call to another colleague of mine who taught at Central High School with me, Cecil Benjamin. So I'm going to try and see how many of those persons I can reach. I already told Abdul Ali we need to mobilize, come together. We have several organizations. We have the St. Lucia Action Circle. You have the Dominica Association. You have the St. Kitts Nevis group. You have the Antigua Barbuda. All of these persons. Let's see how we can bring them together, because they will liaise between you guys and the communities here on island. So let's see how we can bring them together so they can sit with us and organize with us to see how we can make this thing a successful thing. One thing I told Mr. Abdul Ali when I spoke with him yesterday is that we've got bands and singers out here. Nothing wrong in organizing a concert. Huge concert.
You know, Mr. John Baptiste, we're talking so much and I forgot one thing. So we're cooking up an event.
Okay.
We're chefing up an event, and I know people like them jerk, and they love music. So they love the juice. So we are still working on that, and we're gonna put some things out there. So but deepest thanks for just for just having us here, and for just we have to go here honorary Jamaican 19 after this, because you are already liaising and just looking ahead to see how you can help us. And this is why I love our Caribbean people. We're one Caribbean people, like how much I say out of many one people. So we're feeling it and we appreciate that, and welcome any ideas. So I'm listening to what you're saying, and I just wanted to add that we're cooking something up, and we welcome any additional contributions.
Well, let me just let you guys know that I attended college along with Winston Nugent.
Oh, Winston,
Jennifer Nugent Hill.
Okay.
We were all in college at the same time.
Okay.
I have my brother-in-law in St. Lucia. This is bad that I don't even recall the gentleman's name right now. My brother-in-law has a very close Jamaican friend who's involved in the insurance industry.
Hardy?
Is it Hardy? No, there's another one. He's a Pleskin guy. I think he's also a Rotarian.
Oh, I know who you're
That's
talking.
Hardy.
Yeah, no. He's
The next one?
he was at the Jamaican Association. He's in Rotary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Man,
It's not Hardy. It's another one. And
his name slipped me, but I know who you're talking about.
His name slipped me. But anyway, so I know those persons. And on top of that, I had a phase in my life when I experienced what the Trinis call Tabanka. And it was Jimmy Cliff. Jimmy Cliff who got me out of that. I sat down drinking my vodka and orange juice. I'm listening to Jimmy Cliff and his song. One to you on the house of exile.
Listen, we have to play some Jimmy now.
I'll bring you to karaoke too, man. You can sing.
Yes,
and so the Jamaican musicians, whether it is Culture, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, they've all had a tremendous impact on my life growing up. So Jamaican music is deep in my veins, and the spirit of Jamaica lies side by side with my spirit.
I think we're gonna make you grab the mic at this event. Don't be shy now in a buckle.
And I just want to say,
Okay.
I was supposed to have the Jamaican experience February of 2026, God's Spirit Life. So me and my mom, we've been watching videos, and when I heard that Melissa was coming, I said, man, this no.
We might can be able to still accommodate it. Just
Yeah,
a couple months. You
maybe
never
February you'll be
know.
up
Maybe
and
it's going
running.
to be a little bit more rustic,
Yeah.
but
The place is so beautiful. I love the people, and it's on my bucket list. I have to make it. So I'm gonna give Jamaica some time to get back on its feet, and I'll definitely be heading over God's Spirit Life.
And she's a fan of Shensia.
Hey, speaking of which,
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing that we hope all the Jamaican dancehall artists or regular artists from
Everybody
Jamaica
has come
step
together.
up and take care of what they need to take care
I
of.
saw
on the
Shaggy.
island.
Shaggy brought a
Yeah.
plane down and he had items to give to
You
his
see,
the
that's what I'm talking
community.
about.
So
Yeah.
he did. Beanie Man seems to be on the ground out there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Vibes yet.
Yeah,
And
we
Spice
wait
is
to see
headed.
that.
Everybody down to earth. And you know, some people, they just do it.
Yes.
They don't do no PR around it.
Mhm.
And I trust that all our people gonna pull together. Everybody was affected.
Yeah.
I don't know and it's millions of us that live outside the country, but I
Yeah.
tell you, everybody was affected. You know somebody, you're hurt just seeing it. Yeah, you guys can stay abreast about what everything that's going on. And you know, other than the sadness and devastation, I've been posting feel good stories.
Mhm.
I've been posting how the island looked before it got that onslaught that beat
Yeah.
up.
Mhm.
And I saw a 90-something-year-old woman say, "Wow, Jamaica get mashed, they get beat." You know, she lives in Miami. She's such a sweetie pie. I'm gonna put her feel good video, and she was just gathering together a couple of tin of peanut butter and sardine. And so she said, "I have a lot, but I send this for you."
Aw.
And I just love it. I love it. And those things are important. The silver linings to stay our mental up and also to empower the people and to soothe that sadness, because there's a sadness, there's a lot of sting. Okay, this is a different type of hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So feel a little helpless, but of course we're rallying and we're going to do everything.
And even in the midst of the tragedy, we were learning so much. And I'm going to tell you, I listened to the Prime Minister. He was talking about a program which is going to kick in. It is some catastrophe kind of bond, I think he's
Yeah,
talking about,
$24 billion. That's what I was mentioning. Yeah.
which is going to, and I said to myself, when I heard it, I said to myself, this is interesting, you know, that the government had the vision to put this in place so that now that you have a tragedy of such proportions, there is going to be some funds coming to play to address the rebuilding of the nation. You know, this is just excellent.
I read something, and I don't know if it's misinformation, but I heard, I don't want to call the country's name, that we still have a connection with, sent £3 million into Jamaica, but they spent over maybe 200 and something $1 million in the Ukraine war.
Wow.
So, you know, we're going to get to see, you know, who really stands with the people and the diaspora.
Uh-huh.
And if this happens to us, it can happen to anybody. We don't know what can hit us. And, you know, pay attention and also see why we need to have funds and backup like what Andrew Holness did. He had the foresight to put that $24 billion down because we don't have faith.
So it was his administration that put that in place. Okay. Okay. Wow.
Or it was a baton pass. So I don't know the intricacies of it, but he knew to keep that for a very rainy day. And maybe that can solve the problem, but I respect and appreciate that he did that, and that's a page that we need to take out of his book and apply to every aspect of every life and every level. Be ready, stay ready.
Yes.
Always.
It's an excellent initiative, and I'm really touched by that. You know, and we can learn from each other, and we have to understand that, you know, we're in the Caribbean. We have so many things that link us together, that bind us together, if I may. And so we have to stand together in solidarity with all what's happening in the world, the geopolitical rumblings that we're hearing of. It's important for the Caribbean to stand together as one. I have been saying on my radio, besides this program, I have a program on Monday mornings. And I've been telling people of the importance of Caribbean heads of government coming together and to galvanize their forces to deal with the Haitian crisis, which is ongoing. You know, I talk to them sometimes of the experiences of the Haitian people and remind them that, you know, the Haitian people are our brothers and sisters.
Yes.
And we have to come together, perhaps bring the warring factions to the table and see how we can resolve that. The ongoing conflict over in between Guyana and Venezuela, that needs to be resolved. And so perhaps even now that the U.S. is taking certain strides in the Caribbean area, the heads of government will come together and say, listen, man, guys, you need to get your act together. Bury the hatchet. You know, as a people in the Caribbean, we have to stand together in unity. And put aside all the elements that tend to divide us. Like, come on, our ancestry is a common ancestry.
Very much so.
You know, and in addition to that, we live in an area where it's like if the earth shakes, we all feel it.
That's right.
So we got to stand together. Definitely. Yeah.
Well,
Shanice, I haven't heard from you. She is a Virgin Islander. She resides in Atlanta, Georgia, and she joins us on Friday evenings via StreamYard.
all right.
Yes, Shanice, what's your take so far?
Some of my thoughts that I just want to say, first of all, my prayers are with the Jamaican citizens and their family and their friends, everyone, people who are in Jamaica.
One second there, Shanice. Josh, can you help us with the volume here? For some reason, we're not hearing Shanice.
So
Yeah.
while waiting on Josh to come fix the volume, I just wanted to say that the YouTube channel is CBJ
We're
News.
hearing
CBS?
CBJ. Right. That will have the accurate news and what's information on the ground. The other one is TVJ of Jamaica.
Let me hear that.
CV like Charlie Victor Juliet.
Okay, CBG.
And then TVJ of Jamaica. Look those up on YouTube. That's live media from Jamaica down there.
All right.
All right. You found the Jamaican. So tell them the website one more time.
Oh,
We'll take this a little PR.
you know that you see how I just went away? I just went to Jamaica and come back. So yeah, you will find us on all social media platforms, JA Foundation STX. You're gonna find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything I can put us on. We're gonna do that, and also our email is going to be info@jafoundationstx.org. Working hard to get everything streamlined and up by midnight tonight. And until then, you can also follow me, Ramona Reed, on Facebook. I will go ahead and put that out there. I do have a lot of followers, so I interact a lot with my community. So anything extra, you might say the extra tidbits and whatnot on there of what's going on. I'm going to share everything that we're updating in the group so people can know where to find us. And yeah, anything anybody is thinking that they think they can do. I see the fire chief, if I'm not misrepresenting his title, Mr. Marcelino Ventura Senior has contacted me and he's inboxing me to start to align with health and a number of other persons who are here. Everybody, guys, thank you so much who are viewing. Thank you to the listening audience. And then you can also reach me at 340-626-8232. And give up to the Jamaican Association. Everybody's rallying and doing their best. Mr. Peter Bandu, what you got to say, sir?
You said it all. Right. But no, on real tip though, this is a serious matter, right? You just keep Jamaica in your prayers all day, every day. We will come back from this. As we know, all Caribbean people, but I'm just going to talk about Jamaica, very resilient. Okay. And we're going to come back. I mean, like I said, reaching out to family members and asking for money. Tell me exactly what's going on. And we're just waiting for food and some help. We want some help. That's all we want. Okay. So just please keep them in your prayers. And, and make sure you follow Ramona over here.
Ramona Reed on Facebook.
Yeah.
Let her know and update you on everything and get our social media, everything in pocket.
Very important. Jamaica has blazed the trail for us in so many areas, whether it is the queens of the track and the king of the track.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt.
Yes.
We've had great Jamaican cricketers. One of the first one of the first things that incidents I saw in cricket between the West Indies and England was when the wicketkeeper Hendricks, you guys might even know that got hit in the head. In a test match, and he went down. That's when the Pacers were beginning to come out with fire. And I recall that in particular, you had Julian Hunt of Barbados who got a blow on the cheek, and the guy Hendricks, the wicketkeeper for the West Indies out of Jamaica, went down with a bouncer from one of those bowlers out of England. So the Jamaicans have been there. blazing the trail. Don't talk about music. That's a totally different thing, you know.
Yes.
And so when they now need our help, you know, so we got to rally behind them. We got to support them as in every way possible. We've got to support them, you know. And so I encourage folks to just, you know, do so. Shanice, you're saying something earlier?
No, I was just saying that my heart and my prayers are with the Jamaican citizens, whether they are, you know, at home or away from home, and to all the Caribbean people. Let's be sure to help the Jamaicans. You know, at the end of the day, when you're on the mainland and they hear an accent, they're gonna ask, "Are you Jamaican?" So use this as an
Yeah,
opportunity
everybody's
to
Jamaican.
segment.
I think that people off a little bit, but okay.
We can use this as an opportunity to segment, you know, and I'm glad that you mentioned the foundation, the JA Foundation STX. So I will be sure to share that social media on my TikTok and my Instagram so that people can, you know, donate in any way they can. I know
We
many
appreciate you.
people are having a hard time at this time.
Are you in touch with any of the St. Croix folks over there? In Loganville? Snellville?
No, I'm on the south side of Atlanta.
Oh, down by Macon?
No, not that far. Just like I'm close to the airport.
Oh, okay, Jonesboro. I got you.
Yeah, I'm close to the airport.
You two have been unusually quiet. I want to hear your voice. Say something. Andisha, come on. Andisha here, well, she's with us on Friday evening. She currently works over at the Department of Public Safety.
Okay.
No, I don't. Oh, no, sorry. VIP. VIP.
Is that fine?
No?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So, wait,
It's shy.
what agency you work with?
VIP.
Isn't that
Police.
Isn't that police? Well, I guess I got it wrong. I thought public safety and
I'm going to see him in a few minutes right after this.
wait, am I wrong? I don't know the same thing. Public safety and
No.
VIP. I'm so sorry. Jesus Lord have mercy. Yeah, but anyway, all right. Well, that's I stand corrected. But let's hear you anyway.
Right now. Okay, hi. I've been listening and from what I've seen, I don't really know nothing about Jamaica, but I have seen the TikTok videos and you know how bad it is. And I remember when I was younger, I experienced Maria and Irma,
So you did.
and that was horrible. So I could imagine what they're going through. And I feel bad. I don't know, I'm young, so I don't really know what I could do to help, but I do know I have boats and stuff like that. So I'm wondering how I could donate and stuff
We put out the website.
on the website.
If you know what are free ways to help, share the information.
You can share the website.
So I will be doing so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your TikTok thing is back on track. I don't even have
Oh,
my
these
phone.
young people know to do some wicked TikTok video. It's not, may I get the information. I can utilize the services on social media. Yes, you know, those things too, the creativity.
Yeah.
Because we are viewing, you know, we're auditory, we're visual. We want
That's right.
things to catch us
Uh-huh.
and capture, you know. They know to do the headlines and they know the trends and, you know, the new dances and all of that, you know, because we want to lift the people's spirit too. It's not just reporting about the dead and the lost. And we're building, but we're also building spirits. So maybe in that way too, people can contribute.
Right. Kian?
About the children and stuff and with the school situation as well. I hate it online school, I'm not gonna lie. So I could imagine how they gonna feel whenever they do have to start that, and then it's going to be a lot of they have way more people as in Korea and Jamaica bigger,
3 million
yeah.
population.
So they gonna have to give out the schools or whatever, government have to give out a lot of computers, Wi-Fi's and whatnot to the students, and I know they're not going to really like that online school because they're already used to in-person school and stuff, and just the way we was with Irma and Maria when that combined. And like she said, like that hurricane over there, that's 10 times worse than what we had. So I just
Steel.
yeah.
Yeah, you had concrete slab buildings that just exploded from the pressure. I mean, it was just not because people had poor infrastructure. It was the viciousness of winds to mash up concrete and twist it like that.
I saw
Crazy.
Yeah, I saw a live video too, and I was like, damn.
that Parish Black
Yeah,
River.
like It was a
I tell you, tears. I said, Ma, Dad, I can't watch no more. That's how bad it was for me. It's depressing. After Maria,
Yeah.
I was depressed, honestly. I didn't come out the house for 2 weeks. And when I finally got out and I saw, and imagine, it was basically cleared up by then. They started clearing up. I still was in depression. Going to work was depressing. Everything was depressing.
But guess what?
Yeah.
The sun is
It
shining
will.
and the weather is sweet.
Nice.
And Peter and Ramon gonna move them dancing feet.
Mhm.
So we're gonna be tapping into the music
Yeah.
and to the promises and of what we really look for. And I mean, even in the schools this morning, I was listening to just our pledges. We have Jamaicans have our national bird, a national flower, a national wood, our pledge, or all of that. Even the prayer or what do you call it? Or what do you call it? National anthem, national anthem.
Mhm.
Like some people just sing and say things. Even as a little girl, I used to listen to the words. Like I'm playing back all this stuff now, even this morning at 4, and I'm holding on to those words as just God's promise, because we need to stay up mentally.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are depressed and traumatized, and I'm already hearing it from day one. So I can't imagine all the other psychological um, things that are going to be happening to the people. So I'm looking at mental health and counseling, and this is where the healthcare professional thing come in, the holistic person, human. We're gonna. I mean, I remember because I lived in the Bahamas too. I remember Hurricane Andrew. They even had caskets floating up because the ground is so saturated. Can you imagine the morgues that have no electricity? Can you imagine the burial grounds and situations? When you think about it to the extent, it's like those things are a lot. But if you even have to hold on to a little reggae music to get through the day, I think and we're not in it, but we're observing it. But I know those are things and jokes and laughter and some dominoes and food or whatever people can do to come together to feel good. I know they're gonna do it, and we're gonna try to help them. Christmas at home, everybody like to have the black cake. Even if we have to bring them couple, we know if we bake on cold stove. So
Wow.
if we have to make a sweet potato pudding from cold stove, we gotta pull it off. And a lot of Jamaicans are equipped like that. They know how to use the liquor they have. Like we say in Jamaica, turn your hand and make fashion. Use the liquor you have and make it work.
Bring me back.
Make it work. If I dump in and butter, we make it work, and we're gonna be happy with it. And yeah, any Jamaicans listening that are viewing and have internet and stuff, we're praying for you. We love you, and we're gonna do our best to lift you up and send as much help as we can. And we are just a little association, so I know a lot of heavy hitters and big boys out there with the money and the resources, but we will join hands and work in synergy with everybody else. And if again any other teams out there, anybody else with any ideas more than we've expressed tonight, don't hesitate to reach out so we can really move in there. And it's a logistic issue too. We have all this help, but where is it going? Our ports open. We're looking into all of that. Our roads accessible? Are we using choppers to get in? So those things I've thought about, and the association, and so we're looking at the realities. Are we able to do all this work and get things in? Do we just want to get things? Do we just need more liquid cash to be able to go on ground and then buy stuff? So still assessing and doing our best. So anybody have any suggestions? Let me know. Anybody have any checks? We can tell you where to put them.
I want to big up two things about Jamaicans. First off, I saw the Prime Minister conducting a talk. I was really moved by his facial expression and demeanor. You could see that now he has really taken this deep inside. The second thing is that I did not see any evidence of bad behavior by Jamaicans. I'm serious, because I've known situations of devastation where our people behave badly.
Right.
I did not see that in any of the clips that I saw in Jamaica. I saw places where people were muddied, cleaning muck and mud out of the homes. I saw little children. Some of them were neatly dressed, following the hurricane, mind you, and others who, they were like muddied up, soiled up. But I didn't see any instance of bad behavior, and I want to commend the Jamaicans for that. The other thing I want to do, hello, caller, just hold a quick second, if you don't mind. The other thing I want to say is that, yeah, just one quick second. The other thing I want to say in terms of the severity of the hurricane, making a comparison of sorts, if I may. When Hugo came to St. Croix, Hugo slowed down to 8 miles per hour over a small island. We experienced the onset of Hugo from the sunset to the sunrise of the next day. For a small island. As Melissa approached Jamaica, Melissa stopped to 2 miles an hour,
Get those out.
You
Yeah,
2
that's
miles,
a-
2
yeah,
miles
me too.
an hour.
It was
Yeah.
If
bad.
8 miles
We got
an hour was bad
pulverized. We got
for a
pulverized.
small island,
Yeah.
think of 2 miles and then think of the wind speed. We were like 140 miles of sustained wind power, wind gusts here on St. Croix. In Jamaica, we're talking 185 miles per hour wind plus.
Yep.
This was crazy.
yeah.
She said it's
So,
200.
Yeah,
okay.
she
The Hurricane Hunter said to turn back,
She
Okay,
clapped,
right.
she
Yeah.
clapped about 200. She was
Right.
wicked.
and there were birds stuck
Very.
in the eye.
Uh-huh.
They couldn't get out.
Oh,
Imagine.
no.
The birds were stuck in the eye.
Imagine. So anybody who went through Hugo can just make a quick comparison. Hello, caller, are you there? Hello.
Hey, Senator Baptiste, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine so far, and I've got some folks here with me, of course, the usual crew, and we have 2 representatives of the Jamaica Foundation here on St. Croix with us.
Oh man, yes, our prayers out to our family out in Jamaica, and may God continue to watch over them and cover over them. I know during Hurricane Hugo, we didn't have much help from FEMA and all, and my grandmother, she stepped up as the trailblazer that she is, and she lit that fire right there on the bayside, and she was the one that sent food up East End to the Roebuck family and all across St. Croix to make sure all her people in the community was taken care of. So, I wanted to keep them people in prayer, and that definitely is a sad situation over in Jamaica.
Mhm. Well, we want to thank you for lifting the folks in Jamaica up in prayer. And anybody who wants to call in and just share prayer, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know, man, deception is at an all-time high. So, we got to stay prayed up. And I got a verse that I want to, read quickly and just let you continue with your program. And it says, and for this cause God shall send them strong delusions that they should believe lies. So, again, stay prayed up in the word. God's word is truth. And don't believe these lies and rumors and deception, because, that's what they do to people. They start little rumors and lies and people to try to discredit them and disenfranchise them. That's how they attacked the Black Panther Party. And all the Black Panther Party did was some young teenagers feeding their kids in their communities and educating the kids in their communities. And when they had peaceful protesters, they was attacked. But when the Freemasons and the sororities and sororities come to town, they come to town and do all kind of drugs and criminal activities and hide and act like they, for the people, and they're not for the people. And again, Martin Luther King was assassinated, Malcolm X was assassinated, and it was all based upon lies and rumors to get the people to turn their backs on our true leaders. So thank you for taking my call, and y'all have a great one.
Thanks for calling and sharing. You stay strong.
Good night. Good night.
Alrighty. Choices. Well, of course, we'll get together. We'll decide how we're going to assist. Let me see if I can. Irene doesn't want to come and show her face. She had a second song she prepared. as a tribute to Jamaica. But where is Irene? Irene, you need to show your face. What are you afraid of, man?
Is she here?
She's right here. That's my
Irene,
wife.
I'm calling you out. Irene, come to the studio.
Because I'm putting everything, and this is the same song I had the first one. Oh, Irene, that's bad. You come. Put up the other song for us so we can at least play that as we come into a close. She's the one who does all of
Technical work.
technical stuff behind the scenes.
I'm gonna ask Irene to share her talents.
Yep.
Raise up your people, let the strength of our ancestors show us the resilience of our Jamaican people. We will not forget the memories, the legacy, and it was united. We stand together, we build. The city that make it break. Down to the love you feel. I can see it inside of the one. These are lies I can feel. If I can never compete, I can see so dark in the morning. So raise up my people, let the strength of our ancestors show us the resilience of our Jamaican people. We will not forget the memory that they will see, and it was united. We stand together, we build and stand up my people and give thanks and praise. Help my people and give thanks and praise. Help my people and give thanks and praise. My people. Why I'm nothing on the ceiling? Put them on to the streets of the fight. I don't wanna get too on. I don't wanna know your mind. I don't wanna judge anything was needed. I don't wanna change. I don't wanna feel a living on your side. So raise up my people, let the strength of our ancestors show us the resilience of our Jamaican people. We will never forget the memory that they will see, and it was united. We stand together, we build and stand up my people and give thanks and praise. Stand up my people and give thanks and praise. Stand up my people and give thanks and praise.
All right, so that's our final word from you two before we.
Yeah. So, by the way, your wife did a great job. That's all AI.
Yes.
You're kidding me.
Yes.
That is awesome.
She did some basically what she did was that she did a brief thing, a few verses or lines, and she gives it to AI, and AI does the rest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got those different apps that she uses with AI and does all kinds. I'm gonna send you guys some of the ads that she makes for this program.
Okay.
You know, I'll get her telephone number so you can see what she does. She's my tech person behind the scenes.
You have my number.
What's her
Yeah, I
name?
do. Irene, isn't it?
Big up Irene. That was amazing, and that's son asking permission to get a hold of those songs.
We'll forward it to you.
Love it, and I
I
see
do
in a
like it.
beautiful way I can use song number one already. That one pulled me in.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. 'Cause I DJ too on the side, you know.
Okay.
DJ Flight.
DJ, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
What I'd
This
like
is
to do
DJ
is-
Flight. Oh
yeah,
my
I want to
goodness.
gather the
I forgot.
DJs and maybe even
Right.
do something for Jamaica that
Okay.
way too.
Okay.
So listen out for that.
And
Yeah,
for our
might come
event,
back
we'll be rocking that song. Big up Irene.
Yeah, I like that. I
Thank
really
you.
like that. I also wanted to mention one other thing was that we went through our hurricanes here on the island, but we just got to remember, right? Who were we under? The red, white, and blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica's not under the red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot more resources Jamaicanese resources.
Right.
They're not going to have as much.
Right.
That yes, they're paying the queen, or
Mhm.
sorry, the prince, the
Mhm.
king. Right. So I went all the way
Not the
down.
man
Back
who
up
had
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're paying England.
Mhm.
Whatever monetary payments were made
Mhm.
for the free, to be a free country. But
Mhm.
at the same point, I don't know if they're going to step up and send
Mhm.
stuff. Hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what.
Well, Ramon just told us about something she observed that she can verify as of now. Craziness.
Yes.
You know,
So
where the priorities
The
lie.
disparities and
Yeah.
the focus.
Craziness.
we still have
Um,
Canada too, which we have
Yeah.
a big representation
Mhm.
up there.
Mhm.
So let's see what happens.
Right.
Jamaica will rise.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. With or without them, they're gonna do it.
All right.
So my
But that's my
last
final
word.
word.
Mhm.
Yeah, my last word is big up the Jamaican people. Stay up. Community, near and far. This is a time that our people need you. We're a spirited people. We're a proud people, but we're also standing in true humility and need. And we're gonna do everything we can to mobilize and get as much help as possible. And even those of us that are not in the midst of the storm, we're still feeling it emotionally, spiritually, and we ask, for you guys to also, give us your support. We don't know everything. We don't have all the right words. Sometimes we might get a little bit spirited and emotional and get bad news, and we're reaching out to our community to lift us up in prayer, to help us with accessing any resources and thinking about, how the Jamaican Association, we're going after nonprofit status. So we're looking for any grant writers out there, and anybody wants to donate their services, anybody who are website builders, social media managers, creators. We don't claim to be a one-stop shop. We're industrious people, but we definitely need some assistance. And I'll put out some more information as it comes, updating of the happenings in Jamaica, but also specifying exactly what kind of resources we need. You can find us on social media, GA Foundation STX, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other social media. That's going to be our handle for our email, info at jafoundationstx.org. Thank you guys again, and thank you, sir. Thank you to the family here at Choices. I really appreciate you calling us, to this for this opportunity. But also, I can feel, that you guys are genuine.
Yes.
And there's a flurry of happenings, and some people are genuine. I could have feel it from I walked in here. So a deepest, sincerest thanks, and we're gonna stay in touch and let you know everything that's going on. Maybe you can put it out on the airwaves, and you can rally your resources. So yeah, we're calling all the infantry. Calling the infantry. Everybody come through. Yeah, we need your support.
Well, we have a moral obligation.
My prayers go to Jamaica, and hopefully everything get back, up and running. Well, yeah, in a couple months, and we could have a strong 2026.
Oh, sorry. One last thing. Because we don't talk about our talents and skills, and like DJ Flight is off the chain. I don't know. I'm not saying that just because I met him through his music before I knew he was Jamaican. Amazing in terms of his selections and how he put everything together. He know how to touch a crowd. And I own Cultured Naturals Body Care. I manufacture green beauty and wellness products, and also Juju and Cece's lemonades. What those brands are doing, we're going to be doing some customized products where 100% of the proceeds for a particular Jamaican line from the beauty products, and they're all farm to body and farm to table. So everything is locally made, natural and organic. And the girls, my daughters Juliet and Gracie for Juju and Cece's, we're gonna launch a limited edition line for now of flavors that represent Jamaican punches, and you're gonna see different labels from our regular branding that you're gonna readily see when you pick up. That is 100% of the proceeds going to Jamaica. We're gonna show you from the manufacturing. We're gonna take you on a little ride of how we make it and how it gets into the hands of our people. So we're gonna use the power of social media to show you that and show full transparency of how we do something, sugar and water and a little love. Even if you don't have everything, we can do something.
Interesting.
So you're gonna see that popping too soon, and I can't wait till DJ Flight lights up Irene's song.
That's right. I didn't even know about this Juju and Cece connection.
That's her daughter.
That's
So
her
just
daughter.
I was telling my
Wow.
dad that.
Wow.
I said,
wow.
She
So,
has
so I
sponsored.
forgot to swing back and bring in some juice, man. We
Yeah.
bring the girls then. They really wanted to come in, but they were
Aw.
short on the radio station where they
Trick or treat.
so they gave up trick or treating, and you know we don't really do the trick or treating. It's more the candy, but they gave up the candy. They said, "Mommy, go and speak on Jamaica and tell everybody to support the team." So yeah,
Awesome.
Well, we're gonna stay strong. We're gonna keep the faith. You sign us out.
Me are still forward to Jamaica, you know.
Wow.
Don't play. I have to get the blue hole experience. I hope blue hole, you will come back. If you get any damage, you will come back.
Try to get that
Love
information
ya.
for you.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having us on.
No problem.
Anytime.